So 3 or 4 years go by, and just about 6 or a little less than a year ago, I was ready to get cats again. So I went to, this time I wanted more than one, because I wanted my cats to have friends. Then I wanted them to be each other's friends. And I went to Petco. Do you guys have Petco? Big chain. Anyway, in New York, there's like a huge adoption center in the Petco. So I go to Petco to adopt some cats. I see 2 young cats that I think are absolutely adorable. It's a brother and a sister. It's just what I'm looking for. I go up to the adoption representative. I say, would like to adopt these 2 cats. And I'm ready to do it. And she says, okay, well, please fill out this application form and come back later for an interview. Which I thought was a little weird.
Well, I can understand that. They want responsible pet owners. I actually think that's very nice.
I guess. So I did. I went. I'm like, all right, whatever. I'll do this. I go back. I do the interview. She's asking me questions. You know, how much money do I make? How big is my apartment? Are there screens on the windows? All this shit. And
if only they could have Eric Clapton there.
Wait, so is he a cat owner? So, I answer all the questions. I have nothing to hide. I'm a proud cat owner. I think I'm a good cat owner.
Really good.
And I get a call a couple of days later saying, we would like you to come back in for a second interview.
That sounds excessive.
That's getting a little
much.
So I go back. I mean, once you've decided that, you know this, once you've picked a pet, you're in. Once you've committed to it, you'll deal with as much hassle and bullshit as you have to, because you're abandoning it if you say this is too much crap, you know. So I go back in for the second interview, and this time I'm dealing with a higher-ranking adoption representative.
How do you know this is a higher-ranking adoption representative?
He has those epaulets,
The
fringe, you know what I mean?
Yes.
And a big hat with a huge feather, a chin strap, huge feather,
Okay.
sticking out.
Monocle?
A monocle, yes, a sash.
What is the sash then?
Mare.
Well, that's your gift
Got
right
a
there.
sword, a big sword. This big curly white mustache.
A walrus
A
mustache.
walrus mustache, yeah. His walrus skin. The skin is all.
Oh, so he's a walrus.
He's a walrus.
Oh.
Well, I didn't tell you that?
No, you didn't mention that he was a walrus.
No, he's a walrus.
Oh, I see. Which must have been strange for you when you
It's
walked
horrible. It's horrible. I mean, I'm there for my second interview, and I'm like, hi, I'm here for third interview. It's like,
I didn't even understand when you.
I couldn't understand. I had to go, go to Yellow Pages and get a walrus interpreter.
Right. So expensive, those
Oh,
guys.
it set me back $300
Oh, my
to get the
God.
walrus interpreter. So it's now I'm buying a walrus interpreter. Come in. He's dealing me with the walrus now. I'm gonna have this walrus ask me questions.
And their skin dries out, those walruses.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
He was clearly asphyxiating.
Oh, no.
And he's wearing this stupid hat with a huge feather sticking out of it.
And a sash. So what happened? You went back in.
I go back in, and he's asking me a lot of the same questions. One thing he says is, how old was your last cat when he died? And I said, he was really old. He was 15 years old. Guy goes, not that old.
Wrong answer.
He was accused. It was like he was accusing me of prematurely ending my. So I'm like, this isn't good. About a week later, I get a small letter in the mail that I have with me. It's very brief. I'm going to read it to you. It says, this is the letter. This is what it says. Dear Maribel.
Maribel.
What's that? Thank you for your application and taking time to be interviewed at Kitty Kind. As discussed by the adoption rep, an application is not a guarantee of adoption. Selection criteria for adoption incorporate many aspects, and your application was not approved, as it did not meet kitty kind criteria. Fucked up, right?
Very fucked up.
So I wrote back a letter that I'd like to read you. I immediately responded. Dear Cat Adoption Selection Committee. Sounds passive aggressive right from the beginning. I took a tone. Let's just get a few things straight. First and foremost, my name is not Maribel. My name is Michael. Whereas I can easily see how you would have gotten my name wrong, considering that Michael and Maribel both start with the letter M. To have rejected my application for a cat, while simultaneously mocking me by calling me a girl's name, just seemed like a low blow. Come to think of it, I could have named the girl cat I wanted to adopt from you, Maribel. But apparently, I'm not qualified to take her out of the small, shitty cage you keep her in. It's cool. I totally understand. You guys have a job to do, and let me be the first to say you're doing your jobs well. And by well, I actually mean not well.
Zing!
I was really going for the jugular.
Yes!
I had no idea this would be so difficult. I'd envisioned something along the lines of, hey, I want a cat. And then you go, cool. And then you hand me a cat. Boy, was I wrong. Looking back, I'm wondering, maybe my apartment was too big. Maybe I loved my last cat too much. Or maybe, just maybe, you're fucking crazy. In conclusion, I hope that all of the cats you keep in cages are finding homes that do meet your criteria. Because criteria sort of rhymes with diarrhea. And diarrhea is what you remind me of. Sincerely, Michael Showalter.
Well put.
Thanks, guys. I'm still waiting for a response. But I ended up going to just a different adoption
And what
clinic.
happened?
And I went in, I said, hey, I want a cat. And they were like, cool. And then they handed me a cat. Really how it happened. It's just really Petco shitty. That's really what it's about. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm glad it worked out for you.
Me too. Me too.
Now, it's getting a little bit late.
Is it?
Yeah, there's the clock right there.
We gotta go.